It is week 14 in the NFL. It is time to make our confidence picks. Let's go. And welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Wat2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. Real quick, an announcement. Friday night, Jeremy and I will be recording at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on my show. It's going to be my first live show on this channel, and we're going to be talking primarily baseball off season. We're going to be focusing on the New York Mets, but we'd love for you to come and hang out with us. So let's talk about our confidence picks. So we're going to do a recap of week 13, and I got to tell you, I'm feeling pretty good about how we did. Out of 14 games, we went 12 up and 2 down. Out of 120 possible points that we could have got, we got 100 of them. And for the season, that gives us a record of 129 wins to just 64 losses. Out of 1,432 possible points, we have scored 1,032 of them. And for the overall standing, we are in the 96.9% bracketile. So we are doing really, really well. Last week we're at 95.7%, but 96.9 is the highest percent that we have been all season, and hopefully only going up from here. So again, here's the way that we do this. We are going to pick the winner in every game. We don't pick against the spreads on this channel. We pick winners. So we have 13 games to predict. I'm going to pick them all, rank them 13 the most confident to 1 the least confident. Okay, so let's go at it. Our number 13 game is going to be the Battle of the Lone Star State. The Houston Texans at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not picking Houston. I'm picking Dallas. You kidding me? Come on. The spread is 17.5 already. The Cowboys are number 1 in point differential, plus 127, including plus 80 in their last 3 games. Since the Cowboys lost to the Packers in Week 10, they're averaging 40.7 points per game and 180 rushing yards per game. Every week I feel like I come on here and I talk about how bad the Houston defense is, especially on the ground, and they are now giving up 169 yards per game. Watch out, Cowboys roll. Number 12, we're going to go to the AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. You know, at the beginning of the season, this looked like it could be a big game. Well, Kansas City has done their job, and Denver has done anything but that. The Denver defense, even the Denver defense, which played very well in the first half of the season, they're just not the same anymore. And now they're facing the highest scoring offense in the sport. And the Denver offense, forget it. They're averaging 11 points through their 4 losses since the bye week. I love the Chiefs and Andy Reid coming off a loss. Plus, Patrick Mahomes is 9-0 lifetime against Denver. Make it 10. I'm giving this the 12. My number 11 game, we're going to go to the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars, traveling to Nissan Stadium to take on the Tennessee Titans. Now, both these teams are coming off terrible losses on the road, and now the Jaguars go back out on the road. Derrick Henry seems to love running against Jacksonville more than just about any other team, and they do not have a good run defense. You know, Henry has only had 34 rushing yards on average the last 2 weeks. I think he breaks through in this one. Plus, Trevor Lawrence is supposedly a little bit banged up. So I'm going to take Tennessee in this game. Okay, number 10. I feel like this is a little bit of a bold statement, but for the AFC North, I'm going Browns at Bengals here. And I'm going to take Cincinnati in this game. I just think they're clicking right now. Now, a lot is saying don't do this. You know, Joe Burrow has never beaten the Cleveland Browns in 4 games. Cleveland has won 5 straight against Cincinnati. I think this is a statement game for the Cincy Bengals at this point. Deshaun Watson did not look good in his return last week. He has not yet shaken off the rust. And Cincinnati, believe it or not, leads the NFL in opposing teams' completion percentage at just 59. Good luck, Deshaun. And I'll tell you what, if the Bengals get up early, which I think they can, if they get up by double digits, it can really start to neutralize that Cleveland run game. And if that happens, it's game, set, match. So I think Cincy wins this one. My number 9 game, we're going to go the Carolina Panthers at the Seattle Seahawks. Give me Seattle in this game. What do the Panthers have left to play for at this stage of the game? Steve Wilks' job? Does that mean a whole lot to them? The Seahawks, on the other hand, are fighting for a wild card spot, and they're playing at home. Geno Smith has completed 72% of his passes, by far the most in the league. Now, the Carolina D is doing okay with the returns of J.C. Horn and Jeremy Chin. I just think Seattle's rolling. This is their game. Number 8, we're going to go to one of the games I'm going to be paying the most attention to. The Miami Dolphins at the LA Chargers of San Diego. Big game in the AFC wildcard standings. And even though I'm a Jets fan, I got to tell you, I hope Miami wins it. I want the Chargers out of the way. I want the Jets in the playoffs. And Miami can go a long way to making sure that happens, because after next week, the Chargers have a very soft schedule to close it out. Now, I expect about 55 to 60 points in this game total. I just don't trust the Chargers, who are, in my mind, just an accident waiting to happen. They're 2-3 in their last 5 games. They're all one-score games. And check this out about the Dolphins' offense. This is amazing. 25% of their offensive plays this year have gained at least 10 yards. The Chargers' defense can't cover, and they can't create much pressure. They're not going to be able to contain Miami for 60 minutes. Number 7, we're going to go to the Thursday night game. This is a weird one. We've got Oakland at St. Louis. Well, I guess it's Las Vegas at Los Angeles. You got the Raiders at the Rams. I'm going to take the Raiders. They've won 3 in a row. They might be sneaking back into the playoff picture. Crazy as it is to sound, if they keep this hot streak up, they're not going to be done for a little while. They might cause a few headaches around the league. Chandler Jones has 19 pressures in the last 2 weeks, and the Derek Carr to Devontae Adams connection is going to be a big problem for the Rams. I can respect they played hard last week, but the Rams just don't have the manpower at this point. Still no Kupp, still no Stafford, still no Aaron Donald. I don't care if Baker plays quarterback, Bryce Perkins, Roman Gabriel comes out of nowhere, Jim Everett comes from retirement. So my prediction is a team that used to be from LA sweeps the 2 current LA teams in back-to-back weeks. Football. Number 6, we're going to go Monday night. The New England Patriots at the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals have only won 1 game in their last 5. That was against the Rams. The D for New England is really struggling, though. They're allowing 24 points or more in consecutive games. But Bill Belichick loves these matchups. These heady quarterbacks who just like to play hero ball. He's very good in those spots. I think Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris, and Jacoby Myers, and maybe Hunter Henry. That'll be enough to get the Patriots moving down the field. And here's another thing. The Cardinals lead the league in offensive penalties taken. That does not bode well against a disciplined team like New England. So give me the Patriots. Number 5, here we go. The New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills, from New Era / Highmark / Bills / Ralph Wilson / Rich / Canadian Stadium, whatever they want to call it. This is the 2nd straight week that the Jets are playing a team that played 10 days prior, the prior Thursday, which is just ridiculous. What worries me about the Jets in this game is that their defense, as capable as they are, they're not doing well with 3rd downs and takeaways. They've turned the other team over just 1 time in 3 games. They're not going to win this game if they don't have, in my mind, at least a +2 turnover differential. The Bills are converting 51.8% of their 3rd downs, best in the league. The Jets are 29th in 3rd down completion conversions at 32.9%. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. The Bills' offensive line is pretty beat up. They might have to Deion Dawkins, David Quesenberry, Mitch Morse, all pretty questionable as of this recording. I do think they're going to be able to make enough plays to win the game, though. I'm going to take the Bills in this one. My number 4 is going to be the NFC East Showdown, Eagles at Giants from MetLife Stadium. The Giants have a weird schedule. In the middle of this Washington sandwich, the middle of that sandwich is known as the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Giants can hang around for a little while, but the Hurts offense is just too much. He has 20 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. He has been amazing. And then on the other side of the football, just look at the wide receivers versus the cornerbacks. For the Giant receivers, you've got Darius Slayton and Isaiah Hodgins going against James Bradbury and Darius Slay. Who do you think wins that matchup? And like we said last week, Saquon Barkley is not breaking plays as of late. The Eagles have a +13 turnover margin. Eagles. Give me the Eagles in this game. Number 3, it's always fun when the Ravens take on the Steelers. And I'm actually going to take Pittsburgh to win this game. Kenny Pickett's starting to figure it out. He's 3-1 in his last 4 games. Tyler Huntley is most likely starting for Baltimore. And while I like him, I think that Pittsburgh pass rush, led by TJ Watt, will get to him a couple of times. I think they'll create some turnovers. I think the Steelers get ahead early. They kick more field goals than any other team in the league. I think they'll get an early lead, and they're going to have to rely on Huntley to get them back in the game, and that's just not going to work out. I think the Ravens are just vulnerable. They've shown their ability to blow leads or just not play as crisp as we're used to seeing that franchise playing. I think this is going to be sort of a watershed come to Jesus game for them. So give me the Steelers. Number 2, 2 games left. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to take Tampa Bay, but I got to tell you, it was actually embarrassing watching the coverage from Monday night. After Tampa Bay took that game from New Orleans, they called it's another great Tom Brady comeback. Oh, it's another miracle. That was as poorly a coached game as I've ever seen in the last couple of years. And I'm a Jets fan, okay? Outside of Adam Gase, Dennis Allen and the New Orleans coaching staff gave that away. Between play calls, clock management, timeouts, it was embarrassing. And I would love Brock Purdy to beat Tom Brady as much as anything. It'd be hysterical, but I think the Tampa Bay Blitzes will mess with Purdy a little bit. I just expect the Buccaneers to play a good, efficient game. I don't expect them to score a lot of points, but I just don't see San Francisco doing much in this game. Samuel's a little banged up. McCaffrey's a little bit banged up, and you have an unproven quarterback that doesn't work. That doesn't go well for me. So I'm going to take Tampa in that one. And finally, number 1, the toughest game to pick. What's it going to be? The Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions. Minnesota's going for the clinch of the NFC North. If they win, they clinch. The Lions are trying to make one last desperate push, kind of like the Raiders, trying to make one more push to the playoffs. They're actually favored in this game. I tell you, I like the Lions. They're number 1 in red zone efficiency and playing the worst pass defense in the league. That should be a salivating matchup for Jared Goff and company. Jamal Williams will have his weekly rushing touchdown or 2, and Jared Goff just eats zone defenses like this one up. I think the Lions are desperate. The Vikings are not. And I think the Lions get the better of this matchup, but it may not be, I don't know. Who knows what the Lions might have left in the tank. I think they got one last push to try to scare Washington, the Giants, or the Seahawks. Who knows what might happen. Well, those are my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you have any upset specials? Any games that you think I'm right on? Any games where my pick is just ridiculous? I look forward to your feedback. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you back here with more content once I'm back in the wicker chair.